Good afternoon. I thought I would share with you, actually it's good morning, but I thought I'd share with you the beautiful bougainvillea bush that's just behind me and say welcome to today's training. Today we're going to talk about motivation. Motivation is something that a lot of people, especially when it comes to language learning, they're not sure how to stay motivated. And consistency is one of the biggest elements, most important elements of language learning. And if you're finding it difficult to stay motivated, then consistency becomes a lot more difficult. So I've got a few tips for you today. We covered this subject in the Saturday's discussion event that was all about inspiration, and it turned into a little bit of a motivation discussion too. So I thought I would share with you some tips that I gave them, and hopefully you can find it useful. When it comes to language learning, consistency is the most important element to keeping the improvement going. So what you have to do, there is one very key issue that will help you with your motivation. Goals. People talk about goals all the time, but what I'm going to say to you specifically is you need to have a specific big goal. A lot of people say to me, I want to be fluent, I want to be native speaker, and goals like this. At the end of the day, most people that I deal with are actually fluent already. So they already are able to have good conversations, they're able to speak freely, they're able to understand what's being said to them and enjoy fruitful conversations, so useful conversations. And being a native speaker, well, you can't become a native speaker. You are born a native speaker. You either speak English as your first language or you do not. So these are two goals that are not really relevant. What you need is a reason as to why you're learning English, why you're improving your English. Do you want to be able to travel freely around the world and communicate with everyone that you meet? Would you like to be able to get a better job? That's most people that come to me, that's what they want to do, is either get a better job or they already have a better job and they would like to be able to do it more effectively, more easily, with less stress. Whatever your goal is, have a big goal up here, like a 2 or 3 year goal up in the air, and then break that down into smaller goals. And so when you do your English every single day, you will have, now this will involve a little bit of work, but it's absolutely worth it because it will make such a difference to your motivation levels. I absolutely guarantee it. So have your big goal up here and then make smaller goals. So for example, I had one of my students the other day, she wants to get a better job. Brilliant. She wants to be able to speak English in her job. Brilliant. Okay, so tell me, what type of job do you want? So what type of job do you want? What skills do you need to improve to get this job? And more importantly, to do the job well, to do the job effectively. So I'm holding the phone up so my arm, switching from arm to arm. So you need to sit down and think about these specific things. So have you got a better job already? Do you know what kind of job you would like to do? What elements of English would help you to do your job better? Do you need to improve your presentation skills, your negotiation skills? Do you need to be able to attend and maybe hold meetings, negotiation? Do you want to just be able to be included in project decisions? What's going to be involved in your new job? So imagine your new job and think about what type of things you will need to get better at to do this job well. From there, you can break it down and don't say, okay, in the next week, I'm going to be able to do this, this, and this. It all takes work and it takes practice. So once again, break it down. So when you decide, okay, I want to be able to make really good presentations. Okay, fantastic. What is your subject matter? What type of presentations will you be doing? And what help can you get to make better presentations? What type of information will you want to talk about? So this will then lead you into areas that you can improve your vocabulary, you can improve your phraseology, you can learn new phrasal verbs that are relevant, you can learn some idioms, you can... Do you understand where I'm going? So all of these things will break you down into things you can work on. You cannot learn all the vocabulary you need in 1 week. It can't be done. But break it down and say, okay, I've found lots of really useful vocabulary. I'm going to learn 2 words a day. Learn and use 2 words a day. Okay, 2 words or phrases. And this is a manageable way to maintain your motivation, because you know what, you get up in the morning and you go, okay, I've got these 2 words that I have to learn today. Then you could, I want to improve my listening skills. I want to be able to understand what people are talking about in meetings. Brilliant. So your goal might then be, okay, I'm going to find someone who does a TED Talk in the accent that I need to be able to understand. So if your boss is American, or your boss is English, or your boss is from India who speaks English with an Indian accent or a Mexican accent, or any of these things, find a TED Talk or something similar, preferably around your own industry, and that will be your goal for this week. I will be able to understand this TED Talk from start to finish without subtitles. So that's a great goal for a week. So then your first day you can watch it through with subtitles and get an idea of what they're talking about. You can then use the same TED Talk to find your vocabulary, to even practice shadowing. If this is an accent you'd like to speak in, don't shadow if it's an accent that you do not want to be able to speak in, because that defeats the object. But if it's a really nice, like British accent or American accent, then you can use it for shadowing. And you can really get to know the phrases that they use, the pacing that they use, how fast or slowly they speak, whether there's any idioms or phrases that they use, particularly if they're from a certain part of the world, and what they mean. So you can really get to know that TED Talk. Or you can actually do it with any piece of content. So if you break it down, you'll find that your skills, your listening skills, your vocabulary skills, all of these skills will actually improve as the week goes on. And you're learning something that's very relevant and something that's useful for you. That is the key. So there, I've given you an example of one kind of practice that you can do, one kind of skill you can improve upon. Now, listening skills at meetings will probably involve several several different types of meetings. If you can, I would actually record the meetings that you're going into. And then you can actually work on specific meetings, on your specific areas. So you can get to know the specific idioms that your boss uses, and the subjects that he talks about, and the vocabulary that he uses, or that the people in the meeting use. And that's really useful. If you can start to do that, that would be amazing. If you're unable to record, and I know some people might find that really difficult, but if you're unable to record, then for sure make a note of the vocabulary that they use and add that to your list and say, okay, this is the vocabulary I'm going to work on this week. Because people use the same vocabulary. For example, if you read a book like Harry Potter, for example, J.K. Rowling will use the same phrases and the same vocabulary throughout all of the books. Okay, some of the books will get more advanced because the subject matter is more complicated, and she's aiming it at an older audience, but to start with, the audience is quite young. So she will use quite straightforward vocabulary and language, and then it will get more difficult as the books progress. So if you can actually find the vocabulary that your people use, that would be even better. Okay, so I hope that this training was useful. My next business mastery course will start the 15th of June, and we will cover all the areas of business that you need. That will include improving your business vocabulary, This is not about learning information that is not useful for you. Negotiation skills, presentation skills, attending and hosting meetings, networking, all of the things that you need. So if you're interested in that, drop me a message and I will let you know the details. And I hope this information is useful for you. So please don't hesitate to subscribe for more and ring that bell so that next time I do a training video, you'll be notified that the video is there. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. If you have any requests for videos, please feel free to drop them down. I'm here to help. In the bio, there is a link to the mastery course and my LinkedIn profile, of which I'm very active, and Facebook group. We have a very fun Facebook group, Business English Facebook group. So please feel free to come and follow me in all those places and share it with your friends. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. It's Sunday today. It might not be where you are, but for me it's Sunday morning. So I hope you have a wonderful day and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.